Hey guys, Heather here from Tye-Dyed Iguana, and today we're going to talk about how to beef up your bearded dragon. Now sometimes you'll get a bearded dragon that it may be an adult, it may be a juvenile, and it may look a little bit, underweight or, not to its proper weight, not nice and plump and fat. So in this video we're going to talk about some of the supplemental things you can give them to help fatten them up. This also works if you rescue a bearded dragon that was maybe in a bad situation, that came in skinny or something. These would all be good ideas to give them as well. So first and foremost, we're going to talk about the live food that you can give these guys. As you're feeding these guys, we would recommend that you stick to crickets for their staple food if you're trying to fatten them up, because they're very healthy. They contain lots of protein and not as much fat as some of the other foods do. And the other foods that we're going to talk about in this video, we would suggest as a supplement to their basic diet of crickets. Now we feed our normal adults, that are nice and healthy weight. We feed them about every other day. We feed them crickets. But if you're trying to bulk up a bearded dragon, make sure that you maybe try to feed them every day. And maybe even up the amount of crickets that they get. Maybe try to give them as much as they'll eat in 10 minutes. So that's our advice about the crickets. And now we're going to talk about some of the other live food and some of the other packaged food that you can give them to kind of help beef up their weight. Yum, 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 yum. Alright, so the second live food source that we're going to talk about is cockroaches. Now these would be probably a supplement to your crickets. Some people, they like to feed just cockroaches, but we kind of recommend them as a kind of like a supplement. They're very good as well. They have a high protein content like crickets do, really similar amount as crickets, but these guys have a higher fat content. So it works a little bit better for kind of beefing up the weight of your bearded dragon. It kind of helps them pack on the weight a little faster. So if you'd like to kind of supplement, you could like do a little cockroach and cricket mix, just try to change things up. Just so that they don't get used to only cockroaches. That's a good idea. Alright, so the next bug on our list is the waxworm. Now with these, you gotta be a little careful. With a healthy weight bearded dragon, if you feed too many of these, they will get overweight because they have a very high fat content. So these are basically like little balls of fat. They are good, for supplementing to help increase the weight of your beardie if they're kind of skinny, underweight. These are really good sources of fat. They will help them bulk up quicker. But just be careful with these as far as feeding them to like normal weight bearded dragons. They're a good treat, a good snack every once in a while, but definitely not a staple. More like a treat, and for kind of helping bulk up skinny beardies. Also, if your beardie is kind of being a little, being a timid eater, kind of picky, this kind of stimulates their appetite a little bit, so it does help in that way. So, another good one to use. Yep. Okay, so the last one we're going to talk about is the hornworm. These guys are good for if your bearded dragon is being really picky. It doesn't have much of an appetite at all. This kind of helps stimulate the appetite. Now, these guys aren't really good for bulking them up because they're like 85% moisture, like water content. So they don't have a lot of fat. They do have a little bit of protein, but mostly for our adult bearded dragons that are healthy weight, we use these mostly just as treats for a kind of a picky eater or a beardie that's just having trouble getting his appetite going. This would be a good stimulant for them. Alright, now we're going to talk about the packaged stuff that can help bulk up your beardie. Now this is our Crafted Cuisine Dragon Diet. Now this stuff, we have both the adult and the juvenile diet. Now this stuff is really awesome because it has like all natural ingredients. It has It has water, dried crickets, dried mealworms, soy flour, dried tomato, pomace, fructose, dried banana. I mean, it's just got like everything in it. It's got fruits, it's got veggies, it's got crickets, it's got mealworms. It's got basically anything that's like really healthy for your bearded dragon in it. And it's these little kind of moist pellets. They look kind of funny, but the bearded dragons will love these. And they're really good for helping them kind of bulk up. So you can feed that in addition to your crickets. So the last two foods we're going to talk about is made by Repashy. We got grub pie and veggie burger. Now the veggie burger has a lot of the fruits and vegetables in it, a lot of natural ingredients. It's very high in protein as well. So they get all that protein, all that nice natural fruits and vegetable ingredients, and a nice chunky, kind of like, it almost looks like dog food when you mix it up. It kind of looks gross to us, but apparently they love it. Then our other mix is the grub pie. This also is kind of like, it looks the same as veggie burger, I think. It might be a different color, but its main ingredient is black soldier fly larva meal, and that is a really high source of like protein and calcium. So it's definitely really good for your insectivores like leopard geckos and bearded dragons, who, you know, insects are their main source of protein. So that's what they eat. So yeah, these are also two really good foods to use in addition to your crickets. Can help bulk them up. Apparently they love it, even though it may look gross to us. Alright you guys, I hope you enjoyed that little video on some of the supplemental things you can give your bearded dragon to kind of fatten them up. Like I said, you can feed it more often for beardies that need it. For beardies that are healthy weights, like these guys, you would only feed on occasion as a treat. So thanks for watching everybody, and we'll see you later.